Hello, I'm Ninja Greg, and you're watching the Ninja Greg Show. And seeing as how it's Valentine's Day week, I decided that instead of covering the entire month in love-themed reviews, it would be easier to just do just Valentine's Day week because, that's the one day out of the year or the one day out of the whole month that everyone's looking forward to, and unlike Christmas, there's not really a whole entire season built around, well, there is, but it's not as strong. Plus, I was kind of grasping for straws towards the end of last year's month of love, so I decided to just do a week of love and have 1 week dedicated to, romance and as such. Therefore, before this week is over, I'm going to do a review of the sequel to one of my favorite romantic comedy guilty pleasures, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2. Okay, quick recap if you hadn't seen my last one. In the first My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the Greek woman Tula Portokalos she's at a point in her life where she thinks she's never gonna be happy or have any kind of fulfillment. And then one day comes Ian Miller, a very handsome, good-looking teacher who comes into her family's restaurant, and the two start, and because Ian's not Greek, their relationship starts out secret and gets a little shaken up when the family finds out and you got a clash of cultures going on. But then it all comes to a head when everybody just accepts Tula's relationship and she finds her happiness, and that's it. It's really the story about, about their relationship, and even though it's called My Big Fat Greek Wedding, that's what it ends on, with the wedding. So, where can it go from here? And why is it called My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2? Well, let's get into it. Several years have passed, and Ian and Tula's daughter, Paris, she's grown a little, and she's at that point where you're starting to finish high school and looking to start college. So they kind of have this arc about, learning to let go, and Tula especially learning to just let kids grow and figure things out on their own, because, there's going to come a point in time when they're not going to need their mom and dad as much. But what about the second Big Fat Greek Wedding? Well, that actually comes courtesy of Tula's father, Gus, who, for some reason, always brags to people that he's a descendant of Alexander the Great. So, while doing some family research on a site that's totally not Ancestry.com, nope, no way, no how, while searching through family records to verify information, he finds out that, whoops-a-daisy, the minister never signed his marriage license for him and Maria's wedding. So, despite being together for so many years, they've never actually been married. So that's what this movie is about. It's about Gus and his, Gus and his, I guess not really wife, Maria, getting married for real, and that's the wedding that the whole movie focuses around. And if you're like me, then you probably thought that when you saw the trailers that the marriage license that didn't get signed was in fact Tula and Ian's, and we would have to do their whole wedding again, kind of, hitting some of the same notes as the first movie. But no, this was a genuine surprise for me. I did not expect, the mom and dad to not be married after so many years. So yeah, this comes as a big shock to everyone, and it makes for some great comedy. And I can honestly say this movie made me laugh at just about as hard as the first one. Now, I do have a couple of complaints about this movie, and there there's like maybe one or two subplots that don't really go anywhere, and if you're not going to have them go anywhere, then why even bring them up at all? But yeah, of course, this is at a later stage in everybody's life, so years have passed. A lot of people, some of the other relatives have gotten married and had kids, and so they introduce a whole bunch of new kid characters in the beginning, and some of them are basically carbon copies of their grandfather and other relatives and such. And aside from maybe the first scenes establishing this even bigger and Greeker family, they really don't do much with all these new kids from the kids of the kids. And there's also this very small subplot about Tula's cousin Angelo, played by Joy Fatone, actually being gay. I mean, it's touched on briefly during a scene where they're trying to set up the wedding reception and get everything ready for the next day. And Angelo has a very small talk with his mom about it, but they don't really do anything beyond that. Whatever, moving on, I guess. But yeah, I highly recommend this one. It's funny, and of course, like I said with the first one, this will probably remind you of your own family, especially if you have a big, crazy family. Anyone with a really big, loud, crazy family can relate to this and the first one. So yeah, this one's definitely worth the watch. So anyways, I'm Ninja Greg. You've been watching the Ninja Greg Show. For those of you who are in a relationship, I hope you and your significant other had a very happy Valentine's Day. And if you're not, then don't worry about it. Real feelings cannot, nor should they not, be contained to just one day. Plus, there are 364 more days out there for you to enjoy. So, don't feel too down that you don't have that special someone, because while you might not have that very special person in your life, there are people in your life who care about you, friends, families. So even though Valentine's Day is usually targeted towards lovers, there are still other people that you can give your love to and get love in return. So don't fixate on it too much. Okay, so that's enough out of me for this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell so you get notified of whenever I put something new up. And I'll see you next time.